Most managers don't hold people accountable. Why? Because they don't want conflict. They want folks to feel like they're not being picked on, or they think they'll figure it out themselves. Well, they won't. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Keep the Change. I'm so glad you're here for our Leadership in the Dealership episodes. The leadership behaviors that actually change results is what we're going to talk about today. I mean, I get to go solo, and I'm really excited about sharing some information with you that I got to tell you could be just one of the most powerful things I've heard ever. But let me ask you a question. If I followed you around your dealership for one full day, would I see leadership or would I just see activity? Because there's a big difference. You and I both get it. One's really proactive and one's reactive, right? And today we're going to talk about something that I think gets missed all the time. Not leadership ideas, there's a lot of those out there, but leadership behaviors and how you and I react in different situations. I came across a list from Marshall Goldsmith, which is called the 20 most improved leadership skills. And I want to share them with you today. All 20. No, not really. But if you email me, I'll give you the list of all 20. And what I'm going to do is talk about 6 of those that have the most power, I think, in our dealerships. These are behaviors that if we can change them, change results. So again, all 20 would be overwhelming. I'm going to give you the ones that I think matter the most inside a dealership. You ready? All right. Number 1, holding others accountable. Ooh, wee. You and I get that's a big deal, right? So let's start here because this is where most leaders struggle. And why do they struggle? Well, that's a good question, but we sometimes can't hold others accountable. And we sometimes talk about it, but we don't actually do it. Right? Why is that though? Here's the problem. Most managers don't hold people accountable. Why? Because they don't want conflict. They want folks to feel like they're not being picked on, or they think they'll figure it out themselves. Well, they won't. I'm reading the book Winning by Jack Welch, and he talks about candor. And it's really important as a leader to have candor, having those difficult conversations. So here's a question for you. Who on your team right now is not performing at the level they should be? And do they know it? And are you hoping they'll figure it out? Hoping is not a leadership strategy, is it? So what are some solutions? Because everything's about solutions, right? Well, I think first of all, get clear on the expectations, yours and theirs. If it's not clear on your part, it's not enforceable. And address it immediately, not next week, not next meeting. Use facts, not emotion. Here's what's happening and explain the impact. Here's what this is going to do to the team and explain the impact. And set the next step. Here's what needs to change and make sure they understand it. Follow up. If you don't follow up, you train them not to listen. Another big piece of this is asking questions when doing this. Number 2, here's another one. Delegate. Delegation. Most people don't delegate, they dump. And what that means is they just say, do this, but they don't teach them how, and they wonder why they don't get it. Or they don't delegate at all. They just try to do everything. I've seen some of your to-do lists. What are you doing right now that your team should be doing for you? Why are you still doing it? Is it a control thing? You think you can do it better? You might, but maybe that's great leadership. Now, maybe it definitely is great leadership if you can get somebody else to do it better than you. Maybe you don't trust them. Maybe it's a habit on your part. So what's the solution to delegation? Delegate outcomes, not tasks. Explain the why. Everything needs a why behind it. Match the task to the right person. Let them struggle a little bit. Ask them questions, check in with them, hold them accountable, inspect what you expect. But most importantly, when you start off, make sure they're trained on how to do it. Next one is conflict. This one here separates the real, doesn't it? It separates real managers from positional managers. Addressing conflict constructively and on time. You get this, but in dealerships, conflict doesn't disappear. It goes underground. And when it comes back, what's wrong? It's worse. If you don't deal with it with candor, with good communication, you're in trouble. So then the question becomes this for you. What conversation are you avoiding right now? And how long has it been sitting there? And what is it costing your team? Again, the longer you wait to handle it, man, the harder it is going to be to address it. Address it early. Start with facts, not emotions. Stay calm. Ask questions. Control the tone. Before making statements, listen to make sure you understand. And focus on the resolution, not being right. Close the loop. Don't leave that meeting with it hanging. Close it. Get the conflict out of the way. Here's another one. Becoming more decisive. Are you sure, Bart? Yes. Decisiveness. Indecision kills momentum. And in a dealership, speed matters. So here's some questions I have for you regarding decisiveness. What decision are you delaying right now? What's that one? You've got it in your head. What is it? Why haven't you made it? What are you afraid of? So what's the solution? Get the facts to the decision quickly. Trust your gut, trust your experience. Accept that not every decision is perfect. Make the darn call. Fail forward. And adjust it if you need to. Okay, here's another one. You ready? Become a better coach. Ooh, that's one of my favorites. It's a big one. Becoming a better coach. And so many of us, I'm very good at that. Your job is not to have all the answers. Your job is to ask all the questions. Your job is to develop people. Your job is to not be judgmental, but curious. So my question for you is, who are you actively developing right now? Who is that person that pops to mind? Or are you just managing their tasks? When's the last time you really coached, activated someone, had a session with someone? You didn't just correct them or give them all your wisdom. You asked them, you got them to come up with the idea on their own because you asked great questions. Ask more questions than you give answers. Listen fully. Help them think how, getting them activated in their brain. That's why I call it activation, not necessarily coaching. Let their brain activate. If they come up with it, it's true. If you come up with it, it's not. And when you have feedback, give it to them right when it happens. Make development part of the daily routine of your dealership. And the last one, be more assertive. Be more assertive. Assertive doesn't mean aggressive. There's people that are not very assertive at all. And then there's assertive and then there's aggressive. It just means being clear. And most leaders aren't clear enough. Communication is what happens to the best organizations, but it doesn't happen to ones that are struggling. Where are you being too soft? Where are you hoping instead of leading? Where do you need to be more direct? That's a good question. And in terms of solutions, say what needs to be said, be direct, not emotional. Say what you mean, but don't say it mean. Don't over-explain it. Keep it simple. Stand on your values and standards. Be consistent. Respect people, but don't avoid the truth. Here's what I hope you take away from today. Leadership is not about you or what you know. It's about what you do. So here's the question. Out of everything we talked about today, all 6 of those, what is one behavior that you need to change? right now, immediately, not next month, not next week, not next quarter, but you need to do it now, today, without fail, no exceptions. Because if you do, and that changes, everything else starts to change with it, right? What's that one behavior? Look at that behavior. If you want that full list of 20, you know how to get a hold of me. That's Bart at bartnollenberger.com, and I'll send you Marshall's 20 list of leadership roles. And what I want you to do with that is pick one and make a decision to work on that one. But here's the deal. When you pick one, get really clear with why you want to do it. As a matter of fact, let's say it's delegate. I want you to write, why do you want to delegate? Why do you want to get better at that? And then once you answer that, ask it again. Why else do you need to delegate that? And when you ask it again, why else? And when you ask it, ask why else? Why else? Why else? If you don't have this, there's a couple of things I want to share with you. I think a lot of you have it, but I want to share this with you. John Maxwell wrote a book, The 5 Levels of Leadership, right? He also wrote a book called Developing the Leader Within You 2.0. That's a book that we've done a lot of workshops on within dealerships. We're also currently doing a workshop on Winning by Jack Welch. Man, that is great content. If you want any information on any of the masterminds and workshops we're doing for dealerships that are developing their leaders, let us know. But one thing I want to share with you is this. About, 6 months ago, I happened to go to the studio, John Maxwell's studio in West Palm Beach, Florida. And for 3 days, I videotaped a course. And that course is called Transforming Leadership in the Dealership. And there's 47 different videos that are about 3.5 minutes long. And then there's questions at the end of it. I'm going to really encourage you to inquire about this. I'll send you the 5 levels of leadership assessment. I'll send it off to you. If you order that assessment, I'll also include a half hour of Bart coaching you on that assessment. But I also want you to inquire and look into that coaching program. It was $9.95, but I've got it on sale for people that have done business with me in the past and for people in this podcast. So if that's something you're interested in, it's a whole lot less. I think it's like 90% off. If that's something you're interested in, go ahead and email me. Let's have our coaching session. Get that 5 levels of leadership program, and I'll tell you about the coaching program, and I'll show you some of the videos on it too. It's super powerful. So, hey, look forward to hearing from you and see how I can serve you and help you. Thanks for joining me today. It's a short one, but with a lot of content. So pick your one that you're going to work on, get that 5 levels of leadership assessment, and hook me up with some coaching sessions with you so I can go over that with you. Thanks, everybody. God bless. We'll talk to you next time on Auto Mastery University and Keep the Change. Hey, everybody. Thanks a lot. God bless. And we'll talk to you next time on Keep the Change.